Hey, it's John, LBF, Little Blue Ford. So, we're working on the Green Ranger project. We gotta fix the frame. Well, it starts right here with the Red Ranger because I can't find my frame pieces. Not my Red Ranger, Dad's. The wrecked one. Which I probably haven't explained yet, but there is a wrecked one here. The frame is toast, but the piece of frame that I need is excellent. So, yesterday I got some help from friends Paul and Michaela, and we got beds off the Green Ranger and the Red Ranger, and here we are. So, I'll go over what's going to happen here, and we'll get after it. So, here is the Red Ranger with the bed off. Now, what we're after, come around here. So, what we're after is a section of frame from here forward. So right here, boy, that was a bad idea. So you can see right here, hopefully you can see that, the frame is sectioned. So we got rear section, front section. They overlap right here. So in order to separate this, we have two rivets, one, two. There's two on the bottom, right down in there. Let's see if, I don't know if it'll really show on the camera, but there's two there. And then we got the four for the leaf spring hanger. And we have body mount. We have this cross member behind the cab. There's a rivet right here, and there's one further up. And on the bottom, I believe, yeah, on the bottom there's two bolts. There. Then we have a bolt here for the gas tank skid plate. And right here for a cross member, there's two rivets, I guess it is. So those will have to come out. We're going to cut the frame somewhere right in about here. Just cut it after I move things out of the way. We'll measure carefully. We'll measure on the Green Ranger the same, come both the same. The damaged piece from the Green Ranger, I'm going to tack weld underneath on this and throw a couple bolts in to hold things together for now. So that'll give us our frame piece. It's going to be a pain in the neck to get out, but we need a little room to work, and we need that body mount undone on that side. So I was going to do both rear body mount bolts. Now in this truck, this is a 2000 Ranger, 4-wheel drive, and well, 5-liter, all-wheel drive. But anyway, the rear body mount bolts, I don't know if you can really see, but right in here is a rubber plug to access that. And it's the same on the other side. So to get to it, in this trim piece, there's a push pin back in here. Hold the push pin, and then this just unclips off. You can see clips here. So then we have 1 bolt, 2 bolt, 3 bolt. We gotta remove the seat belt bolt back there and the bolt below it, and this bolt. Now to pull the seat out. Once the back seat's out, we can get that plug, put an impact on the body bolt, and hopefully it comes out. So I'll do that on both sides, that way I can hopefully lift the back of this cab up a little bit to give me some room. I'm going to do the same thing on the Green Ranger, except it doesn't have back seats in it, so that'll make it a little easier. Plus in the Green Ranger, a bunch of stuff's been bolted on. I'll take you down and show you that real quick. So that's what's happening here. I'm going to get these back seats out, get those body bolts out. I'm planning on working on getting all the rivets out, and I'll do the leaf spring rivets last. And I'll tell you why. I'm probably actually going to leave some of the leaf spring bolts. Leave some of the leaf spring bolts, or rivets rather, in place until after I cut the frame. And I'll probably have to take some of the weight off the suspension. Try to get this so that it doesn't move really when I take it apart. It'll be kind of a guessing game. We'll do what we have to. So that's the plan. Get the last rivets out of the spring hanger last, just to try to hold everything together as long as we can. And once I get the Green Ranger piece temporarily fixed in this one, the bed can go back on this for now. Give you a quick. So this thing was wrecked rather severely. It did a number on the frame down in there. Really sad. But 5-liter V8 in a 2000 Ranger. This was a 4-liter. So pretty much the exact same swap that I did to mine, just I did some fancy stuff to mine. So take a quick walk down to mine, show you what I'm dealing with. There's the bed off of Dad's. Unfortunately, I don't get that bed. So, my bed, I have some repairs to do. But I'm going to get a piece of steel to go across. It'll be bent, come back into here, get past all this rust. This rubberized undercoating stuff, Z-Bart stuff, is absolute garbage. Once something starts rusting, it just all goes to pot. And it's really unfortunate that that's what I'm dealing with here. But I'm gonna kind of patch this up, hopefully get a couple more years out of it until I can get my hands on a better bed or something. So that's that. And come around here. So, Green Ranger. The bed's obviously off. Now, because I did a rear frame replacement in this, these are all bolts right here, no rivets, so that should be relatively easy to separate there. I already added a plug here for my wiring harness, 4-pin leather pack. This is for my trailer plug wiring and cap wiring. So we got to deal with the body mount bolts in this. I'm gonna have some repairs to this cross member while I can get at it. Hopefully I can just patch it up a little bit. Everything's gonna get oil undercoated when I'm done. Just try to keep it from rusting anymore. I hate putting all this work into something that's rusting, but that's where we're at, because we like the truck and we're just doing what we can with it. Now on the passenger side, you can probably see the frame rail's bad down there. I have some pieces to fit on to wrap that. I'm not going to worry about replacing that side. I could, but it's just that much more work, and I need this truck up. I can't keep spinning my wheels on this. This needs to get done. So that's just going to get capped. The reason why we can't cap this side is because of that big old smash in the frame, and I just don't trust capping that after getting it smashed. I'd rather go and put a replacement section in. Plus we're bad back here, and the other side I went after it with a chipping hammer and really went after it. It's solid from here back, so I'll cap all the way up, but I'm not too worried about that side other than just cap it. It'll be good enough. I'll clean it up, cap it. Be good for another 168,000 miles. So we'll get after this. This piece will be fine for holding Dad's wrecked Ranger together long enough for us to do a frame swap, which is in the works. So that'll be that. And this guy, so I'm gonna have to deal with the rivets in this cross member, because I never did that with this. So I got the rivets to deal with there, bolts in the bottom, but the cross member up here is actually out right now. I had that out. It's bolted in this truck. It's actually right here. So most of my fight is going to be with the other truck. And we'll get this one after I get the frame fixed up on this one. I have to fix my leaf springs. I'm going to rebuild the packs again, see if I can get a better, nicer pack. I'm also, well, the bed's off here. I am going to see about getting all the Explorer rear axle goodies. As you can see, this is not a regular Ranger setup. We're spring under axle on this. So rebuild the leaf spring packs, we'll put the Explorer goodies on. So the Explorer goodies, and I'm actually going to make some modifications. This bracket right here is for the Explorer traction bar. I'm going to, when I take this apart, these aren't fully tightened, they're just lightly there while I was working this all out. So we'll pop this apart. I'm going to cut these off, move them probably right about here. The traction bars come up to the frame somewhere up in here. We'll get that mounted on both sides because I want to reuse those. I have the Explorer shock mounts, so I can use this Ranger shock mount. But the other Ranger shock mount was up there. We're going to move it back here, make it work. These are the mounting pads for the Explorer sway bar. We'll get that in. And this was a dampener shock. This will go a shock from here up to the frame here. So we'll get that all together. All the bed's off, and it's easy to get at this stuff and work on it. Throw it all together, get it all done, and I just gotta find torsion bar keys for the front and get everything dialed in then, and we ought to be on to something. So I'm gonna get after it. Thanks for watching. Hey, so I'm back, and we're back on the frame project here. So let's go with what we got going on here. I got both cab mount bolts out on this, the back bolts. I can lever it up a little bit, which will be fine because I got 2 rivets down in here to deal with. Well, they'll show up, but there's 2 rivets right there that need cut off. So I'll have to do those with the torch because there's no getting anything else in there, and I can't lift the cab up far enough without disconnecting a bunch of stuff. So that's what we got there. We got 2 rivets there, 2 rivets here, 2, and then there's 2 up underneath. Those will all have to be cut off. These ones out in the open, I might just grind them. We'll see. And then, alright, so we got 2 bolts here. They'll have to come out. Got a bolt for the gas tank skid plate here that has to come out. And then we have 2 rivets here. Now, looking at this frame's actually buckled right here. So I have the most access for welding up in here, for splicing, other than I'd have to be up here, and then the transfer case starts getting in the way. Plus, this frame's already damaged, it's buckled here, but it's straight the rest of the way back. So that's our stopping point. So I split this hole on both with my markings, and I measured from this back cab mount up. Now I'm guessing it's probably the cab mount that might be slightly out, or it might be the hole. On this truck we're 15 1/8 to this edge of the hole, and we're 15 3/4 to this edge. So I'm just kind of splitting the hole. I'm doing the same thing on mine just to get me something that I can line up to. I'll take you down and show you mine. But mine, we were 15 1/2 to the center. This is off by a little bit. I'll probably try to scribe a little more precise line right before I cut. I'm just going to pull everything away from the frame on the inside, and I'm going to run a Sawzall down. Yeah, I'll run a Sawzall down probably most or all the way. I might cut this bottom on this truck with a zip disc just because of this cross member here. I'd have to do the rivets on the other side and beat that out, and I'm not sure I want to do more than I have to with this, so that's where we're at. my Ranger, I have everything, you know, put it down there real quick. Show you what we got. So we're marked here, and I also have marked for my splice piece here. So gonna nip the corners, and then this angle steel will mate up on both sides to reinforce, because we were originally planning on capping this anyway. So I got my marks there, I got my measurements. The other thing too is with the frame damage on this, my measurements here could be slightly off, so I'm using the hole for a reference. They should be punched pretty much the same. Either way, I'm an eighth. If I split the difference, I'm a 16th difference. Probably be close enough. So on this one, I already have that cross member out, like I mentioned. I'm gonna try taking the cab mount bolts off, because I have to get to those rivets in there. But if I can't, I need to get this cab mount pulled out. If I can't get the other side to go, I'm not gonna worry too much about it, because I can get to these rivets underneath with the gas tank being out. And then this is all bolted, so yeah, gonna get after it here. Hey, it's John, LBF, Little Blue Ford. So, quick update here. I got the downer prepped, we got all the rivets. The only thing left is a couple bolts here. I got the cut marked out. I intend on cutting this tomorrow. Thought about doing it tonight. I just don't like the idea of leaving this apart tonight, and I won't get the other piece of frame in here tonight without working well after dark. So I just don't trust the way this is sitting to be solid enough overnight. Just don't want to risk anything. Don't want to damage this cab at all. It's still in really nice shape. This is the frame piece out of my Ranger. So we got ride through, the big smash. But we had to cut the body mount. It doesn't matter, because it just has to sit here on this truck for now until we get to working on this project. So now I just need to go and grind a little bit on it so that I can tack weld it, because I'm just going to put it in place under there, run a little bit of weld on there. Be good enough to sit here for a while, just so the thing's not in pieces. If I have to move it, it can be moved. So we'll go down to the Green Ranger. I'll worry about the bed in a little bit. Frames are my priority right now. So here we are. In a big old hole. So I'll touch that up a little bit. Get it all cleaned up, ready for welding under there. And I'm gonna prep the piece that comes out of the donor Ranger. Get it ready to go in here. I might even weld my bracing on that before it goes in, just so that's less welding I have to do under the truck. This cross member here, I could make it work, but I believe I have a good one over in the barn. So I'm not gonna wander over there today. I'm not real worried about it today. I don't think I'll need it tomorrow unless I get really far. But we'll get it. We'll get it. We're making progress. So get this stuff taken care of and get my frame patched up here, and then we should be in pretty good shape to get this rig back together. I still gotta look for some pieces for the rear suspension goodies. For some reason I'm short a couple pieces. I'm pretty sure they're around here, I'm just not exactly sure where right now. But I figure worry about the frame and then we'll worry about that stuff, and maybe when I'm looking for other things I'll come across them. But that's the update for now, and we'll get back at it tomorrow, and thanks for watching. Hey, it's John LBF. So, we were going to work on the Ranger today, but it's presently raining, and it's going to be here a while. I really need a garage. This is not good. We got a deadline to meet, and kind of hard to weld in the rain. So, yeah, waiting it out, I guess. I really need my garage. That's quite the rumble of thunder. I don't know how well that turned out on the audio, but it hasn't stopped yet. There's another. Oh, so we're just in the house waiting. Hey, it's John LBF Little Blue Ford, and it's another fine day working in the shop. Maybe I should have called this gravel garage or limestone garage. I might have to trademark those. Yeah, we're back on the Green Ranger project. We were working on it yesterday, didn't shoot any video, unfortunately. It's just me working on this. Anyway, we did some plating on our frame section here yesterday. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not trying to make this super pretty, just as long as it works. I might lay a little bit more weld in here. In here, just to smooth things out a little bit more. I might not. We'll see how things go today. I'm just trying to thrash as much as I can and get this done. And there's the plating on the inside. We went and wrapped this up around. Used the torch yesterday to heat that up, bend it around, weld it in. Here too. Got everything plated on the inside. I think we're pretty well good to go. It's more reinforcement than was needed for this piece. This piece was in really good shape, but I'm plating the other side anyway. The other side needs it, but might as well, right? Just get her done. So, gotta drill some holes in this stuff today. Get this fitted in place. Get it welded in under here. Um, once this piece is in, then I can get some help here if I can find any help and start working on knocking the rest of this stuff out. Because there's still a lot that needs to be done here. Leaf springs need to be rebuilt. Drive shaft needs to be shortened. Need to fish that cross member out. I'm probably going to go do that here in a minute. Fish my other cross member out, get that in. Sway bar has to be figured out and put on. I got the links off of it yesterday while we were running the torch. So there's the old links. I got new bushings for that. We'll just figure out fit. That cross member needs cleaned up a little bit. That'll go back in when the gas tank is back in. What else? Traction bar lengths. So I need to cut these mounts off and move them in yet. Gotta figure out shocks. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it already on another video, but I bent the frame here to match the other side so I can put a shock mount back here. Because the Ranger shock mount was up here. You can see the frame was factory bent here too. It's factory bent over there. Let me... I couldn't find my old shock mount that I took off. I'm not exactly sure where it wandered off to, but it went somewhere. But I think I can position this something about like that, which gets me pretty stinking close to identical to the other side without having to modify the shock mount. So yeah, we'll get some holes in there and that bad boy can go on, and that's going to solve my upper shock mount issue. Now I just need to get shock lengths once I get the rest of the suspension together. So yeah, we're thrashing here, and we're going to see how far we can get today. So stay tuned, and I'm going to get to work. Hey, so we made it down to the barn. Sort of a barn. It's a epic disaster, really. But we got a good cross member. We're just missing a piece. I looked around, it doesn't seem to be here. I'm not saying it isn't here, but it doesn't seem to be here. And for some strange reason, I think my buddy Paul might have it at his place. So I'll have to check there. If I have to, I can patch up the old one. Not what I wanted to do, but it's what I can do. So we'll see how that goes. I kind of wanted this cross member just to make sure it wasn't going to be a pain in the neck getting it fitted when I put that frame piece in. So we got this. I don't need the other piece to get this fitted, but we'll gear. So yeah, The, this place needs cleaned out. It's a mess. And not all of it's mine, but it was a 2-stall horse barn, and, well, it's mine now. It's a dirt floor disaster. But we'll get her. We'll get her. So, onward and upward. Hey, it's John, LBF, Will Blue Ford, and it's another wonderful day in the shop. Here at Limestone Garage, or Gravel Garage. It's pretty nice today. It's actually cooler than yesterday. It is a bit windy. I'm hoping that doesn't mess with the audio too much. But me, myself, and I shall be working on the Green Ranger again today. So, here we go. Cover what we did yesterday, or I did yesterday, with a little bit of help from Dad when it came to fitting it. Frame section got finished prep, and it is somewhat in the truck right now. So, you can see we're rejoined here. I still gotta put bolts in, and I'll talk about this section in just a minute. Now, up under here, I have on this side tacked and some ugly welding. I have the cross member temporarily in just to try to keep my spacing. I just gotta meet these frames up. On the other side, I burned that brace at the top in. There's gonna be another piece coming down and going underneath, and I'll burn the two together when I get that far. I just need to get things properly lined up, get my front section tacked on, and yeah, we'll be cooking with gas there. There is a little alignment issue. I'm going to take some measurements off another truck that I have here that doesn't have frame damage. I just want to verify that I'm either dead on or as accurate as I can be given the circumstances. I don't want this to have issues with tracking down the road wrong or something because I screwed up a measurement on the frame. So I'll be checking that, get everything lined up just right, and get that welded together today. As far as this goes, once I get everything lined up there, tacked in place, then I'll worry about getting this lined up and bolted. I want this loose just so that I can make any adjustments that I need. And so the rear leaf springs, I'm going to rebuild these packs because I don't like how they turned out. I think they're going to be a problem. I have some other leaf springs to do that with. Once the frame's dealt with here, I can move on to those. Now, the thought that's been running through my head that could fix a few problems here. So, if I replace the extended shackle that I put in the back with a regular factory shackle, which is shorter, that'll pull that end up. And if I push this spring hanger down and put the top holes in the bottom, put a welded brace on the inside of the frame to catch the bottom bolt holes and extensions on the top to catch the top bolt holes, that moves this down by 3.5 inches, which will do a couple things. It should help me with my ride height. which even with the extended shackles in the back is an issue. Hopefully my new spring packs, newly used ones, when I rebuild these, will help too. But this distance between these bolt holes is about 3.5 inches. So if I go down 3.5 inches instead of 2 inches in the back, that should get me the extra little bit of ride height. It's going to help my pinion angle, which right now is way too nose high. So I either have to do something to lower this, or I have to cut and rotate the spring perches, or I have to shim the spring perches. I think moving this down might be my ticket. And that will rotate the shock mounts in the back up a little bit so that they're no longer the lowest point on the vehicle and my differential is, which still shouldn't really be a problem, but I did get the frame piece yesterday, I mentioned that, and on this side I got the frame tweaked up. I got my bolt holes marked. So this is a factory Ranger shock mount, and it'll go roughly right about there, which as near as I can tell is pretty close. It's probably diameter of the bolt, maybe 3/4 at most, out from that side, which I don't think is going to be too much of a problem. We'll find out. So I got those marked, got them punched. I'll have to drill those at some point here. So there's a lot of work yet to be done, but we're making progress. We got a plan, and yeah, we're thrashing. With all this, trying to get this frame section in place, welded and everything, and it just being me, the camera's more in the way than anything else, so I haven't even been trying to record, because I'm on this side, I'm on that side, I'm under here, I'm over there, and there's just no good way for me to catch it all without wasting a whole bunch of time, and time something I don't have a lot of right now. So I'm just gonna run through updates as they come, try to do like daily updates here for a little bit, show you what's going on, explain it, and go from there. I think that about covers it for now. So I'll get to work and update later.